Hello and welcome to Cold Waters with the Silver Ghost. Alright, so this game, it is a submarine simulator. For those of you who know, I normally stream a lot of World of Warships. Well, today we're doing something a little bit different. It's made by Killerfish Games, the same guys who made a game called Atlantic Fleet. However, this is a fully real-time submarine simulator. Well, you'll see what the premise is in a minute. We're going to go ahead and hop into the campaign. Specifically in the North Atlantic in 1984. As tension built along the Iron Curtain, Warsaw Pact forces launched a devastating surprise attack across the Fulda Gap. Not Gulp. Gap. Central Europe is plunged into war, and the NATO nations struggle to push back. Resupply convoys from the United States are critical to the war effort and must be defended. NATO naval operations assign you to the Norwegian Sea and the North Atlantic in an attempt to maintain control of the situation at sea. Yes, a lot of these are from old mods and such, because this game did have a set of mods, but they since have updated it a lot, so... Okay, so here's our options, because now we get to pick our submarine. Hang on, I need to move the Twitch chat quick. That's a better spot for it. Okay. So there's the Los Angeles class nuclear attack submarine. Has all the things. It's pretty quick at 33 knots. However, it's a very long boat, with a test depth of 950 feet. 4 wires, it's got a very good sensor array. In service since 1976. This class was first designed from the onset with a towed array, and the first to return to the 30-plus knot speed of the skipjacks. Originally designed to screen carrier groups against Soviet submarines, they combined high speed with excellent digital sonar and fire control. The most advanced quieting available. With the addition of Harpoon and Tomahawk missiles, these boats are as capable against enemy shipping as they are against submarines. Their only drawback is their large size, which makes them very expensive and less maneuverable in the deep diving than the earlier sturgeons. There's the Narwhal class attack submarine, which is one of my favorites. It's much the same, except for it has a depth of 1,320 feet, so substantially deeper. It's a much shorter submarine. It also has I think it's a narrower cross-section. No, they're all times 10 meters. It's a much lighter submarine, but it is slower. It only has 2 wire control systems. I think it has an older sensor array. Yeah, it just has an older radar. Otherwise, it has the same sensor suite. This is a one-off design intended to take advantage of the very quiet natural circulation S5G plant. This made it one of the quietest boats until the emergence of the Sea Wolves in the mid-90s. The sonar and fire control equipment on the stage is Sturgeon class. We may very well be playing the Narwhal. Go ahead and get my stream tracker up. Okay. Then there's the Sturgeons. It's a much older boat. In service since 1967, the class formed the backbone of the U.S. attack submarines during the Cold War until the mid-80s. Stealthy, maneuverable, and with an excellent sonar suite, these boats can match up to any but all the latest Soviet boats. Their only drawback is relatively slow speed. Although, there are very few differences between the Narwhal and a Sturgeon. I personally think the Narwhal is a better boat. But that's just also because I really like the different power plant. And there's the Permit class nuclear attack submarine, which is a bit older in general, but it's a little bit faster. In service since 1961, the class introduced low-frequency sonar and rafting, making the orders of magnitude more capable than earlier SSNs, attack submarines. Originally named the Thresher class, they were named after the lead ship USS Thresher sank with all hands during trials in 1963. This was the worst submarine disaster in history. Although quiet by Soviet standards, they are inferior to most advanced Sturgeons and Los Angeles classes. And again, the Soviets were legendary for not being quiet. Then there's the Skipjack, which can't carry missiles. That is a big drawback, that the Skipjack cannot carry missiles, but it's a much faster submarine. It has a depth of only 700 feet, however. It only can have 1 wire at any given time. It also doesn't have as good of a sonar suite, in my opinion. In service since 1959, the Skipjacks were the first attack submarine to feature the revolutionary teardrop hull and single hull construction with a single shaft. Although they've been refitted with quieter propellers and towed arrays, these boats are designed for high speed and lack silencing and advanced sonars introduced in later classes. One member of the class, the USS Scorpion, sank with all hands near the Azores in 1968. And you go back to Los Angeles. So these are the options for the campaign. I personally am thinking the Narwhal, and our thing is that I am the Silver Ghost. We are going to be ghosts. Here we are assigned the USS Narwhal, SSN 671. Congratulations and good luck. Commander Silver Ghost from Consoblad. What will regalism mean for U.S. foreign relations? Okay, this is a lot of reading. We're going to skip. If you want to read it, you can pause the video. Schloss Legacy, stagnation and paranoia. Provoking the bear. Is Reagan pushing too hard? Soviets down civilian airliner. National outrage. The Soviet Air Force shoots down a Korean Airlines aircraft over Sakhalin Islands. All 269 passengers and crew aboard were killed. The Politburo issued a statement claiming the flight KAL 007 was on a spy mission on behalf of the United States. We regard this as a deliberate provocation to test our military preparedness or even attempt to provoke a war. The Soviet Defense Minister said. Pershing missiles deployed in West Germany. However, this time, the Soviets thought nuclear drill Able Archer was real. This is the difference from reality, kids. Oh, my bad. Maybe this isn't... That may have actually happened in reality. I'm not entirely sure how that played out. One of these is where... There we go. Soviets attack. War declared. The Russians strike first. Soviet infantry and armored units, supported by strike craft of today, stormed through the Fulda Gap west region of West Germany, penetrating the inner German border. In a surprise attack, initial negotiation attempts rapidly broke down. A state of war has been officially declared between the NATO countries and the Soviet Union. NATO losses are high. The United States military forces have been fully mobilized, and convoys loaded with men, materials, and arms have already begun to cross the Atlantic. President Reagan addressed the nation stating the full might of the United States Army, Marines, Air Force, and Navy will be brought to bear on this unprovoked attack, with the exception of our nuclear arsenal. Okay. From Consoblad to the USS Narwhal, SSN 617. Mission orders, 3rd December 1984. 0600 while docked at Holy Lock. Intelligence reports that a wolf pack of enemy cruise missile submarines will attempt to break out into the North Atlantic within the next few days, but they will wreak havoc on NATO supply convoys headed for Europe. Objective, destroy the subs. Maintain radio silence unless otherwise directed. ROE warning yellow, weapons free on designated targets. Okay. Those are our orders. Continue. Let's first take a look at what do we have. What are we armed with? Okay, so we have 16 Mark 48 torpedoes. We have a pair of Mosses, which is mobile something submarine simulators, and then 8 UGRAMs, which are harpoon missiles, basically. That's fine. We also have 20 decoys. Don't need spec ops. Run one of the higher difficulty levels because these are ridiculously high numbers. Alright. Anchors away. Let's go hunt us some Ruskies. They've updated this map since the last time I played. That might be our target. Because they're going to come along here, and then they're either going to head north or south, and we want to intercept them either way. Yeah, they're headed northbound, and we might even be able to... Okay, we're going to park here and see if we can't just intercept. Okay, good. We have a successful intercept. Con sonar, we have a new contact bearing 100, designated Sierra 1. Okay, there's a weak surface duct. There's a big storm going on. Moderate thermal layer. The big storm winds are not going to have any kind of air support or anything like that. There's a moderate thermal layer at 216 feet. Now this game does model thermals very well. So we're going to go ahead and close to 200,000 yards to the approximate bearing of the target.
On sonar, lost contact. Last bearing, 1.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Alright, we have rigged the ship for ultra quiet. I do not know how well balanced I am versus the in-game sound. Hang on, I need to high, low, solution contacts. Oh yeah, we're on elite. Let's bring it down to realistic so it doesn't take so long to reload our torpedoes. Unfortunately, it did already render in the... Now, let me move the Twitch chat over. It did actually... Oh, nope, it fixed it. So there was a contact bearing down 100, which we have since lost. The ambient noise level is 100 decibels, though. So actually finding this guy... See if I remember all the controls. There we go. So now I have the map centered on me. So now there's a sonar contact bearing 100. So that is off our bow. We're at ultra quiet. So ultra quiet is ahead 1/3, 5 knots. Now when you're sailing at 5 knots, that gives you advantage of letting you run out the towed array, which is, I believe, what this is. This is the beginning of the towed array. But the towed array is behind us, so the contact's at 100. Right now, we are blind. We cannot see them, because all we have is our forward sonar. And with the ambient noise level 110 decibels, actually hunting down a submarine out here is going to be kind of difficult. So, first things first, we're going to go ahead and put the 20-degree left rudder. And we're going to adjust our course. Actually, I can just use the auto heading adjust, can't I? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and plot a course to 40.
Come left to 040, helm aye.
Alright, and that's our great and wonderful XO. And we're going to come over to 40. And we're going to see what our towed array picks up, if anything. In the meantime, I'm going to look at the sonar search. So, now, as you go faster, there's going to be more rainfall. This rainfall already is just from the ambient noise level that the ship's sensors can't naturally, tune out. Because I think it'll tune out automatically pretty much about 70 decibels worth of ocean noise without any problem for the sonar guys. It might actually be more capable than that than narwhals. I'm not entirely sure. But we knew we had a contact down bearing 100. We have since lost said contact. So it doesn't seem like whatever it is above this thermal layer.
Make depth 250 feet,
So
dive
we're going
by.
to go ahead and dive down to 250 feet. Now, I know there's a Russian contact. I sometimes would consider just throwing down a Mark 48 down that 100, down the bearing 100 with an active Homer head and see if it can.
Con,
Find
helm,
'em.
steady course.
You know. But at this point, we've actually already waited too long. So that 100 bearing was only good for the initial bearing. We don't actually have solid contacts. We know they're nearby, though, so that's a plus. So in the meantime, we want to be playing rabbits, because the Russians, unlike the Americans, the Russians do not like to have submarines out by themselves very often. So, on account of this, I'd rather play possum for a little while, if you will. Or, yeah. Because now we're below the thermal layer. Not getting any good... We're not hearing anything yet. Well, we know they were at 100, so... If I pull up the map... Oh, that's not the map. Tab is the map. So I'm guessing they're probably somewhere in this area.
Come right to 155, helm aye.
Yeah, so now we're going to come around
Dive
to the
at
right.
250 feet, dive by.
So we're now just kind of beginning a basic all ahead rigged ship for ultra quiet. We are as quiet as possible, and we're just trying to find the other submarine passively. our odds of success here, maybe. Worst comes to worst, I do have active options. I'm going to hit F9. F9 time accelerates, or time compresses, really, so that we can execute this maneuver and also clear out our baffles in case they somehow manage to sneak in behind us.
Con, helm, steady course.
Does not appear to be the case. Alright, they're originally down a bearing of 100, so you know what? I know this
Come
is a
left
blind
to
array,
10,
but we're going to go
0,
ahead
helm
and set
aye.
course down 100 and just proceed to their last known, like down their last known heading.
Con, helm, steady course.
Because we did a little wiggle, so that's below the layer. So let's see if we can pop above the layer. Yes, all this is happening under time compression,
Make depth 100 feet. Dive I.
because I see no reason to do this in real time. So now we're back above the
Con,
layer.
dive at 100 feet. Dive I.
You know what? Does D-time accelerate?
Make depth 4
Go
5
repair,
feet. Dive
scope,
I.
depth. Even though there's a storm, I want to go ahead and poke my head up. Our passive sonar will keep going, of course, but I don't think we're going to be able to find anything easily with passive sonar, given the ocean conditions. So, on account of that, and the fact that this is a search and destroy mission, I very, very much want to come up and I want to poke up like my ESM mast and make sure they don't somehow have like other naval support on the surface that we are just not seeing with our like search sonars. The problem with pinging is that the maximum effective range of active is half the effective range that a passive sonar of equal quality will pick up your active pulse. Because let's say I ping out, well,
Con, dive at 4 5 feet. Dive I.
we're going to put up our ESM mast, just kind of see if they pick up anything. I'm also listening to the ocean a little bit because it does give you, if you can tell from the audio, it does give you the ocean sound in the background. So you can kind of use your own ears as sonar. It's not as good, of course, as a sonar suite, but it's an option.
Lower the ESM mast.
Okay, so that makes it look like there is nothing here that's going to be a problem.
Make depth 300 feet. Dive I.
So we're going to dive down to 300 feet, and we're going to go active, I think. Or at least that's the plan, anyway. So we're going to go ahead and time accelerate. We're going to do a couple more maneuvers to just see if we can't... Because if we can even just get a bearing on this guy, I will shoot at him. Yeah, because he's still nearby. And the problem is I'm not entirely sure if this is our target or not, even. Like, we have nothing on this guy so far. Other than my suspicion. And the fact that we know we had a sonar contact and that there is a Russian submarine on the map, because it won't let us leave combat. So we are currently very much
Con, dive at 300 feet. Dive I.
around and trying to find something that may or may not necessarily be readily available. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn north-ish. Well,
Come left to 029, helm aye.
and see if we can't give the towed array a better shot at them. And I'm betting they were headed north.
Con, helm, steady course.
Okay, helm's at steady course. The towed array is getting straightened out and stabilized. That's the only problem with hard maneuvers, is it decreases the effectiveness of your towed array for a little while, because it has to, you know, pull, and then it kind of comes like this, and it has to finish the swinging around. But at this point, sonar's not hearing anything, so I'm thinking we go active, and we just got to be ready to engage targets.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
After the third ping, if we don't have any contacts, we stop pinging.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
So wherever this guy is, he is above the layer.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive I.
And uncomfortably possibly behind us. So we are now going to climb above the layer in a hard right-hand turn to see if we can't do anything with that. And we're switching back over to passive sensor.